I wanted to go to this because I get these press releases and I notice certain things about them. And sometimes I think maybe I'm imagining them, and then I figure out I'm not imagining them at all. It's actually true what I noticed about it. I got 2 press releases from Albemarle County where I'm going to compare and contrast for you like nobody else will. They'll just read it or they'll just look at it and say, okay, that's fine. That's what the county's doing for various holidays. So let's listen to this. County offices will be closed next Friday. Albemarle County offices will be closed on Friday, July 3rd in observance of the Independence Day holiday. And then they go up about early in-person voting, not available on that day. And that's all they have to say about it. There's no picture of fireworks or any sort of patriotic picture of a flag, an eagle, or anything like that. That's just what you get from Albemarle County. You say, okay, that's fine. And then maybe they do that for all the holidays. They have a non-biased approach. So they're just not going to say anything nice about any holiday and let it go at that. To wit, looking back to Monday, June 15th, county offices will be closed Friday. Now, remember what you just heard about Independence Day, which, by the way, happens to be the 250th, the quarter millennial of the American Revolution, which is certainly significant, but it's Independence Day. So what are we doing here? Albemarle County offices will be closed on Friday, June 13th in observance of the Juneteenth holiday. Okay, it sounds the same, right? Important reminder, in-person tax services or early in-person voting will not be available on this date, blah, 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 blah. Then there are 2 additional paragraphs which you'll notice did not appear anywhere in the previous one. This is what happens when you're spending money on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Your money is being squandered to brainwash people and propagandize them. Here we go. Juneteenth allows the opportunity to celebrate the end of slavery. They leave off the fact that that was accomplished by Republicans fighting against Democrats in the United States, and the freedom of all Americans. Juneteenth also helps us live our Albemarle County value of community, which states that we expect diversity, equity, and inclusion to be integrated in how we live our mission. This is all what they're putting in the press release when they said nothing of the sort about Independence Day. We'll get to that in a minute. We continue to commit towards ensuring an equitable, inclusive community for all and value and appreciate all members of our community. Well, no, that's really a big fat lie because they do not value and appreciate people with Southern heritage who would like to have their monuments protected in this community. In fact, they took one out called At Ready over at the county courthouse. They do not approve MAGA supporters who have been roundly attacked in government schools and in the community and other events. They do not appreciate or value conservative Christians in this community. The homeschool community, they do not. They discriminate against in many ways. And let's just go very micro with Turning Point USA at Western Albemarle High School. Certainly not appreciated. All members of the community, not quite. What a lie. So you can see how they're putting this and sliding this in for their holiday that they favor and deprecating Independence Day, which should be the primary holiday, the primary secular holiday with faith undertones, certainly, of the United States of America. So what could they have done? Well, they could have lauded the fact that we have a Constitution which secures life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, also known as property, that we have a Constitution with amendments that protect freedom of religion, protect the freedom of speech, peaceable assembly, the press, the petition to government, all these rights. They could have said that about Independence Day. They said nothing of the sort. That we have the right of the people to keep and bear arms so it's not infringed, so government cannot run us over. That we have the right to be secure in our persons, our houses, papers, effects, and against unreasonable search and seizures. We have the right not to be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Albemarle County Equity Department, you're falling flat on your face, but we know you intended to leave all these things out. We have the right to have a speedy and public trial. We have the right to not have excessive bail required, unless you're protecting the monuments downtown from vandalism by communists. We have the right of the states to have supremacy over the federal government, which they don't recognize either. So all of these things that we have that we should be saying, if we're going to make commentary about holidays and what's a worthy holiday and what's not a worthy holiday, it's very clear that they have an institutional position against Independence Day and in favor of a holiday that has come about as a national holiday recently. There's question as to whether we should have added it as a national holiday, but it's certainly worthy of observing. But they leave out the history surrounding it, like who was actually responsible for that and who was actually causing the slavery in the United States of America as a policy, a political party. Isn't that fascinating? Do you think anybody else is going to tell you that? I can guarantee you there's nobody who's going to say a word about that. And where does all of this lead? Well, this goes to the next part, and I like doing these multi-part stories and weaving things together for you that you'd probably never hear put together, and you probably never hear them at all. This is a press release, something called the Next 250. Grassroots leaders launch nationwide mobilizations ahead of America's 250th anniversary, saying, well, that's good. They're probably all about it, right? They say that the mobilization is intended to offer a broader, here we go, more inclusive vision. I wonder if the same people work for Albemarle County, of how the country approaches the 250th anniversary. DC mobilization grounded, now listen to these lies. This sounds like Matt Hawes EDD. The DC mobilization will be grounded in the Declaration of Independence, a people-centered framework developed through listening sessions with thousands of people nationwide and shaped in partnership with dozens of grassroots and community organizations. Somehow I don't think that the Declaration of Independence, while it had a discussion and debate over what should be included, it was not a popularity contest and it was not a vote for this and vote for that. So what are they actually supporting when they say they're grounded in the Declaration of Independence? I think what they meant was they grounded the Declaration of Independence, or they ground it up in a coffee grinder. Living wage for all. Climate justice for all. Reproductive rights and justice for all, except for the preborn. There's no justice there because they're being sacrificed by the death cult, also known as the Democrat Party. Voting rights for all. Really? Gun safety and peace for all. Yeah, right. So they want to infringe on your gun rights, which are granted to you by God and protected by government, and then tell you that's going to make it more peaceful. This is the sort of sick debased thinking that comes out of government schools like the ones that Matt Hawes EDD used to run and still getting paid not to run. He actually ran them into the ground. But this is what happens, and you can see it in the press release from Albemarle County and Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. They're paying people lots, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands to run an equity department in the county to put out drivel like that. Just so you know, because no one else is going to tell you that, be aware this is what your money's being spent for in Albemarle County. Is it any wonder people want to get the hell out of here or they want to stop paying their taxes?